When it comes to podcasting, a name is very important. When it comes to anything media related, a name is very important. There are three types of names for podcast titles. There is the brand name, the Coca-Cola podcast. It will get Coca-Cola fans because of its name. The Amy Schumer podcast. It gets fans because of Amy Schumer. Very clever thinking links as much content to a brand as possible, right? So the Simpsons podcast, the Office podcast, you know exactly what you're going to get, and it has a strong brand recognition. Number two, the creative name. Make Money Podcast, a podcast where money talks and BS walks. Well, people who are looking up Make Money will look up Make Money Podcast. I'll pop up, which falls into the third category, which I'll get to in a second. It's a bit creative. It's not as creative as my other show, the Guest List Podcast, where I get you on the list. I ran a club and had a guest list. So it's a bit creative, but there are lots of ways to do this. Again, we talked about Sophia and Nicole McDonald, like Sophia Gibbler and Nicole McDonald. We talk about Treasure Time, because that is the brand name. With Work Bold, Caleb Parker, we talk about that. Brand name. Berlin Sleeping Beauties, creative name. Smarter Event Planning, SEO name. The third part, what will people type in into Google, the strongest of all search engines, or into YouTube that will lead to your show? Always look at three words, three keywords, meta tags that will drive them back. Someone looks up Make Money and Podcast, my book comes up, my podcast comes up. It's SEO, right? That's what I focus on. It's also a creative name because I want people to think creatively, but it's not as creative as the Guest List Podcast. So very important when it comes to name, you've got three options. Something that links to a brand, if you want to build a brand or you already have a brand and you want that brand recognition. Something creative that's just smart and quirky and maybe makes them think about exactly what they're going to get by listening to your show. And three, SEO. When they type it in, you always come up, which helps with your search rankings, with your findability. I'm sure that's a word. Three options for your name.